Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. We need to get one priest victory and several rogue warrior victories, so let's play with the warrior, then the rogue, then the priest, then the rogue, then the warrior. If we can get most of those to be victories, we should be done in this recording in 5 games, and I think that's pretty much where I want to leave it. I don't think there's a real reason to go into a 4th recording. That never works out well. It certainly never works out well. Also, speaking of things that are not working out well, it is right now 5:31 Central Time, as you could probably tell from the clock. And I don't think anybody has looked at my LEGO Star Wars video at all. It could be that everything is just being delayed.
Hello.
Because I did see something about that in the analytics. That happens quite often, actually, as Google says. This element in the analytics is delayed. By default, everything is delayed a little bit, but they weren't supposed to be doing the instant views versus the 301 views thing. So technically, if anybody had watched any of the videos, even for a second, they should have seen it. I haven't gotten any like spam bots or real people retweeting or favoriting those tweets, which kind of sucks. I mean, I don't particularly want spam bots following me or retweeting me, but if a spam bot does find my videos, at least I know that a normal person could find my videos. So there is a slight reason for that. Ooh, I don't know if I want to do that. I'll end the turn as it is here. But yeah, that kind of stinks. I'm wondering right now, I mean, it's way too early to call it as a failure. And it is a matter of pride and just general, you want your videos to be finished, that I'll have to finish the entire series. I'm halfway through with it. Well, I'm over halfway through with the entire series. So there's no reason to just pull it and say, well, forget it, because 2 videos haven't gotten any views in a few hours, in 3 hours. But my hope, as I was saying before, was that this was going to turn into a scenario where I get quite a lot of views. And I haven't quite yet gotten that, haven't gotten that, and don't see any indication that that will be good. So maybe that hype train, maybe the Star Wars hype train, and maybe the LEGO hype train itself even, maybe those trains are just too long. If you take that analogy, maybe there's just so many people that have jumped aboard those hype trains, so many people that have made videos, that YouTube knows we've got to put all of the new videos that say Star Wars at the bottom, unless somebody has 1 million subscribers or something along that line.
I enjoy raiding.
I think it would behoove us to kill this guy. I don't want to keep a spell damage +1 up on a mage character. So, I mean, much like The Witcher 3, maybe it is just a smarter move to... Well, there's a victory. That's nice. Maybe it is just a smarter move to stay... I don't know. Stay with the weird stuff, stay with the things that less people are covering right now. I don't think that is, though. Sadly, the problem here is I have found 2 perspectives, and that is all I can find. And so if you were looking at a 3-dimensional object, and you were looking at it from a perspective A and perspective B, that is fine, but then there's still other perspectives somewhere that would tell you a completely different story. And I imagine in this tortured metaphor, that is what is going on here. Is that my perspective of covering brand new things because the Hearthstone brand new expansions do get me a lot of views is perspective A. And then my perspective B of don't cover new things because there's so much hype on them that you won't get any views is perspective B.
What you got there?
And these are somewhat contradictory. Should you cover new things? Should you not cover new things? I think the reality of it is I am just not big enough. I don't get enough subscribers. Because I don't have enough subscribers, I don't instantly get enough views. There are lots of people who put videos up, and in less than 5 minutes they have 163 views. In less than 5 minutes they have 1,000 views. It's kind of suspicious even, if you really want to just get down to it, how many views some videos can have when they've only been up for an hour. But those views, and theoretically, according to YouTube, the engagement from those views is ranking those videos high enough. Whereas I feel like my videos aren't getting anything because aren't benefiting from that because and so that creates this whole cycle, if I can explain this. It feels like it's creating this whole cycle where there's just no way. There is a way, but the way is very difficult. I just do this, play this, play this, attack, in the turn. Wow. 5th turn victory here. Feels like it. If he could do 1 damage to everybody, that would do a significant improvement. That would help him a little bit. Could play this guy, but instead I want to play this guy. Do this, this, play this.
Here we go.
This, and then end the turn.
I don't like this place.
Well, he can only use that character's ability by doing 2 damage to himself, which just only set us up for a victory here. Can he do anything to solve this?
You win this time.
So it feels like it's my lucky day on Hearthstone and possibly my unlucky day as far as YouTube. But, I mean, I guess lacking any realistic expectations, I really didn't have a clue. I need to come to that realization right here. Well, we're having that moment right here. The realization is like, I had no clue whatsoever how many views or how popular this series is. As is true for any new series I release. I have only slight indications.
I will fight with honor.
Like a slight guess as to the best time. it is still pretty much undeniable that the best time to have released LEGO Star Wars was today. I could have done it a month ago. Maybe that would have caught some more people, but pretty much I think today is it. Now, when the movie gets pirated, when the LEGO Star Wars Episode 7 gets pirated and people think they can find it on YouTube, maybe I'll get a little bit of a boost there, but I have no idea if or when that will ever happen. But I think today was the best day to start. It's about 10 days before the movie comes out. Today's December the 7th, the movie comes out December the 18th. That seems like a fine point. And exactly how early before something comes out you should start a series is a big old question mark in my mind. I have no idea. But coming back to the realization, I needed to have realized, I knew there was hype in Star Wars. I've made that mistake twice recently.
I smell blood.
And it's very possible that the movie sucks. If the movie sucks,
I smell blood.
I am
terrible, that might very well help. But if it is, more people might be talking about it or trying to look up parts of it on YouTube or try to watch the old series, the episode 1 through 6 on YouTube, find people talking about those things and commenting on those things. If it sucks, if it's really good, that would help. It's really only if the movie is kind of mediocre that would be a bad problem. If it's mediocre and people get the word out that it's mediocre, then people will stop talking about Star Wars and they'll move on to the next thing. What's really funny is there's like a Tina Fey comedy coming out the exact same day, of course, because they're all movies are on a release schedule, and the release schedules are the same day each week.
In the light's name.
But I mean, of all the things to release would be just a comedy, something like that. That is a release schedule. You send a bad movie. So I can pretty much guarantee you that Sisters is a terrible movie, and they want to release it right when Star Wars comes out so that they can complain later and say the movie didn't make any money because of Star Wars coming out, which is ridiculous because everybody knows everybody else's release schedule, so that they could have pushed it if they believed in it, but they don't believe in it. Either it's a bad movie, or the other thing that you might be the case is that it is actually just an alright movie, and they think that so many people are going to go to the movie theater to watch Star Wars, and it's just going to be full, that people will just bleed over. They'll be like, oh, we're at the theater anyway, let's go watch this comedy, which doesn't seem realistic at all. That does not make sense. So it's almost certainly a bad movie.
Justice demands retribution.
I can tell you I am very glad I did not go further with the Star Wars thing. We could have done a lot more. I could have gotten a lot more Star Wars style games. Oh, I needed to have killed that guy actually. Well, whatever.
Hit the light. The damned stand ready.
Job's done.
I could have gotten the complete Star Wars bundle. There is the complete Star Wars bundle, and there is the complete Disney bundle too that has some Disney things. I think
Reporting for duty.
I think for both of those, I probably, if I'm ever gonna cover those games, I need to record things very early. A lot of people claiming Star Wars stuff, and a lot of people are gonna claim Disney stuff as far as content ID. So I needed, much like this series needed to have been done months ago.
Justice demands retribution.
Job's done.
So yeah, if I was gonna cover any other Star Wars game, expect it probably not in 2016 at all. I think what I should do is I should focus mostly on, let's see, what could I do? This one would do, this one will do 3 damage to the face. This one would do 3 damage to the face. Do this.
In the light's name. Feel my pain.
Then do this. Then heal this. Then play this and lose. I've lost. There was a different way I could have played that. I made a mistake.
Not quite what was planned.
Reporting for duty.
I could have taken this guy out, and then that would have given
Thank
me
you.
another turn. I am closer and closer towards that max level. Playing 3 characters, that's an interesting thought. Maybe I should spice up all my recordings that way. It's just like, if we have 5 victories, we would play 2 and 1. That would give me 4 games per recording. I don't know.
Garrosh versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Victory or
I don't know, I think that probably would throw me off a little bit. I think it probably is throwing me off a little bit, but not terribly, but I'm not really focusing in on the gameplay too. Inherently, yes, I have to admit, I do not focus on this game. I wouldn't even be playing this game if it weren't for the fact that it just always is here. The quests are always coming, and that gold is always needed, and I do get good views on some of my Hearthstone series, but I don't really get good views on
Battle detected.
this part of the Hearthstone series. I'm wondering about whether I should relabel the series instead of doing numbers, doing dates. That's something I have thought about, at least.
my ancestors watch over me.
Let's see, do I want to reach this guy, or do I want to kill these 2 guys? This guy doesn't matter. And this guy doesn't matter, so I'll just kill him as it stands. Here you go, let's see if this works.
Bring it on.
I think that works quite nicely. Now if I can just... Oh, darn.
Is someone injured?
Who do we want to play?
May my ancestors.
I guess this guy is who we'll play. So, yep. I guess I just need to not worry about the views. I mean, in general, warring isn't gonna get me one more view. It's not gonna get me anything but an ulcer and an unhappy mindset. Just need to keep on keeping on. Keep on doing it. Remember, in the back of my mind, on some level, even though I very much want this to be a successful attempt, I need to remind myself it doesn't matter if this channel ever really succeeds. At the very least, it is a very nice historical record of what I was doing with my life in 2015, 2016, whenever. As far as I continue releasing videos, it allows me to get my thoughts out and my opinions out there, whether people want to hear it or not. At least it gives me something to talk about and something to do.
Behold the might of
And it allows me to put something down as a resume builder while I'm taking care of my disabled family member. So I think all of those are probably alright things. Well, am I gonna win or am I gonna lose at this rate? I think I've got to do something like this. Kill these guys. I could bring up 2 of these and then do this, and that will get it up to a 7. So I can kill this guy at least. This. Yeah, but see, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I'll just, if I do it, I die. If I kill that, I die. If I kill that, I die. So let's just hit him in the face with spite. Spite is the only reason.
Shall burn you.
Yes, it shall. So much he could have done. So much he could have played, and he played enough to win. 41 on that one. Let's see. How are we doing as far as the other characters that are... Druid is at 36, but everything else is kind of working its way towards between 36 and 40. That's good. I don't know if I'd particularly predict that by 2017 all of the characters would be at max level, assuming 60 is still max level in 2017. But it wouldn't be surprising if that was the case.
Valera versus Rexar.
There's not a lot of reason to play off screen right now. I think the days of having to grind might be gone for a while. As long as we can maintain that 5,000, which we really can't maintain once the next expansion of card sets comes out. There we go, we'll play with this guy.
What you got there?
this. This. And this. And let's go ahead and just kill this character. This is gonna be kind of wasteful, but I think it's gonna be kind of cool too. Let's see. This. And then this. Or this. Let's do this, yeah. I think this works nicely.
Cha-ching! Yo ho ho!
End the turn. I think we got it. Desperately trying to get rid of my cut purse. Here we go.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
This. And I wasted a coin. Wasted a coin. Oops. That's
Yo ho ho!
Here we go.
I played too fast there. Should have slowed down my play. I don't think I've played with this one yet. Alright. Bring out this guy. Bring out this guy. We'll take out this character. Attack here, attack here. I have a hard time seeing how I wouldn't win on this one. Just playing with all the things right now. You would think that these coins would be something you could do with them. Oh, you can. Alright, let's see. How do we want to do this? I guess like this. I think I screwed up there.
Well fought. I concede.
Interesting new side thing, but it's not really. I don't know. I'm obviously getting really distracted at this point because I'm just sitting there playing with the side thing instead of playing the game. Oh man, I barely even have the attention span to play the 15 games in one day for Hearthstone. I barely have it. I mean,
Anduin versus Rexxar.
Let the hunt begin.
The light shall bring victory.
I would hand off this series in a minute. I would just say, here, somebody wants to play Hearthstone, just make sure you get all the quests done. Just make sure I have 5,000 gold every time there's a new expansion, so I can buy 50 card packs. Maybe we'll get back to arena mode after the League of Explorers is done. And when we get back to arena mode, maybe that will capture my attention. Of course, if I did get rid of the series, I really wouldn't have any series I could really talk on.
Face the light.
If there was no series I would talk on, I would have some strange episodes in between recording other games where I would be talking about what's going on my channel, and that doesn't quite work well. I want my other game coverage to be kind of more universal. I will reference other games that I'm recording at the moment, but I don't want to sit here and talk about analytics or ad revenue on a regular thing. Kind of too much for me. Can't do a darn thing. Oh, I can talk about Doctor Who. I can talk about Doctor Who. Can't say that much about Doctor Who, unfortunately, because it was just kind of all bad. So the season finale, or fall finale, whatever, of Doctor Who, I think for Doctor Who it was a season finale, came out. It was called Hellbent, and by far one of the worst, in my opinion, Doctor Who episodes in a severely long amount of time. Just terrible. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna play this guy.
I'll heal.
Job's done.
Absolutely nothing
The beasts obey me.
that I mean, I'm not gonna say I hated every single second of it, but I mean, he got back. Spoiler alert! If you won't want to hear anything, he got back in this episode to Gallifrey, and so it's mostly obvious that he only came back to Gallifrey to save Clara, who I've never really liked Clara. And there's really nothing here that in that episode that improved it. It only made things worse. They were doing kind of a Dr. Donna thing, and frankly I didn't really like Donna either. Where Clara was acting exactly like the Doctor and being very full of hubris, and for her it didn't work out. And for her, she ended up getting herself killed, and you thought, and that was like 3 episodes ago, so you thought, okay, he was just gonna be dealing with the fact that she died and maybe turning vengeful for it and all of that, but no, there's really, it's just crazy. I mean, he literally, again, spoiler alert, shoots somebody, and there was a few years ago very much a huge part of a major storyline where you refused to pick up a gun, you refused to shoot anybody, and now he just so casually killed Time Lord who could regenerate, so I mean, it's probably not as bad of a thing, but he still shot somebody. And it's just like, it's so out of character, it's so strange. He was out of character pretty much the whole episode, and usually when he's acting out of character, you might assume that means he's got some kind of plan, he's working some kind of angle, but really there wasn't any of that. None of that was really the case. What about the Blues?
Well played.
I think I just got outpowered by that one, by maybe a bad draw, maybe just better player. Clara adds nothing to the series, to that episode. I'm not sure if Clara ever added anything to any part of the series. As I just said, I mean, really, I'm not sure. She came off half the time as this teacher who had some like concern of the school and a kind of a family caretaker. the problem I think mostly with Clara is that her story should have absolutely ended when she stepped in the Doctor's time steering
The light shall bring
and
victory.
became a part of his life, helping him out throughout the whole thing. I think that was the great right time to do it. Now, a lot of other people will say that her story should have ended when it was supposed to end in last year's Christmas episode, but she was pretty bad even
In the light's name.
in the season before that, in my opinion. I have not really liked where the stories have been taking Doctor Who for the past 2 seasons, ever since the last regeneration, really. There's like not been a major bad guy, really. You could try and claim it was
In the light's
the
name.
Master
Face
in the
the
season
light.
before, in the last season, but this season was the short season, and so every single episode should have stood
I
out
hope you
and
like
been
my
no separate things, but there's no connective story there at all. And then you have the eye booger episode, which is just a whole wasted hour plus. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Heal this guy,
Face the light.
hit him in the face, I suppose. I could have hit him there, killed that one, and then healed that one. That would have been a way to do it too. But yeah, I can't think of a single thing in any of the episodes of this season that I particularly was interested in. The confession dial, I suppose, is a slightly interesting concept that doesn't get paid off. The hybrid is a slightly interesting concept that absolutely gets paid off not one bit. The hybrid is just this huge red herring throughout the entire season for no reason.
Are you afraid of the dark?
And that is rather annoying for that. They barely even wrapped up the story good. I mean, for a second there I thought at the end of this Doctor Who season he wasn't even going to have his charters. Which, you know, if you think about it, maybe that would be a interesting way to go about this. Would be to say, let's see, do I want to do this? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one.
I must.
Hit the lights.
I mean, if his TARDIS got moved and he couldn't find it because he didn't have his... He was wearing those stupid sonic shades this whole episode, so... I mean, if his TARDIS got moved, which it did get moved, but it got moved right next to him intentionally.
Hit the lights.
But if it got moved and hidden somewhere, and he spent all of next season trying to find his TARDIS, that'd be kind of cool. He had a second TARDIS in this episode, so that would allow him to move through time and space, but you could go either way with that, really. You could have it be that he is stuck in a specific area, and thus he can't leave until he finds the TARDIS. So somewhere on Earth, he has to travel all over Earth. That would be fine. Or it could be that it could be that it's hidden somewhere in the universe and he can't find it with the other TARDIS, which is fine. Either one of those works. Fine. They ultimately end Hellbent, the season finale of the
Fine.
this
I'll
episode
heal.
with Clara and me, or what was her name? Shiva? No, not Shiva. That wouldn't be right. But Ashilda was her name. Yeah, flying off in their own TARDIS, and Clara is effectively immortal, and so is me. So it's two immortal people. There would be no danger in the entire story, in theory, flying around, and they were gonna potentially travel around until they had to eventually give that up, and Clara would have to go back to her death, since we've already seen her death happen, and thus it would be a fixed point in time.
In the light's name.
Oops. I screwed up there. I screwed up on that one.
Fine. I'll wand.
Job done.
I screwed up. I would have won if I hadn't healed that character. I probably will still win at 28 health, but I should have taken the victory when I could have and not stretched this out for no reason. Yeah. The master didn't show up. The president of Gallifrey showed up for like 2 scenes just to be kicked off the planet, which is garbage. Well, he managed to kill all my characters, too. At this rate, he might actually win.
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
Wow, this will be interesting. If I can't do like 2 more damage, he's gonna win.
How many fingers do you see?
This is the biggest oops ever.
Job's done.
This is the worst mistake I've ever played. No, take back that well played. That was not a well played at all. That was straight up I effed this up. Not paying attention. Ranting about Doctor Who. So just to kind of wrap up Doctor Who though, I feel like probably next season is maybe they can do something good with it, but I really don't care much about it because next season is supposed to be the last season for Stephen Moffat. It's supposed to be the last season for this actor playing the Doctor. If they introduce a new companion, he's probably not gonna make it past the season after next season because the new writer is gonna come in and want to change everything. I think changing everything is fine. I think it's great. In all seriousness, there is a major amount of compression that could have been done, where one writer could have done the Bad Wolf section, and if you went through all of the reboot and just took out all the Bad Wolf episodes and made those a little bit better and only focused on that, I think you'd have a much better series. I mean, you can have side stories, that's fine, but a lot of times Doctor Who side stories are bad. A lot of times the main Doctor Who stories are bad.
Face the light.
It's just a problem. So that is definitely something I think that could have been improved. And then if you took the whole Rory and what's her name? I don't even remember. It's like basically it was his parents, or they were his in-laws, and let's see. Play this, and then I'm gonna kill this. End the turn. But yeah, if they took all of the episodes talking about his wife, which this year's Christmas episode is probably gonna be the youngest version of his wife in her form. If he is going to go any further back in her timeline, it's going to have to be as a different regeneration, which I thought she gave up all of her regenerations or not. I don't know. So that would be kind of weird too. Let's go ahead and do this.
In the light's name.
Well, that's a useless
Feel my pain.
character for him. I'll get rid of it for him. And then end the turn, I guess. So if they took all of the Doctor's wife, storyline, and Rory and Amy, yeah, that's her name, Amy Pond. If they combined all of that together and just worked on that and polished that a little bit better, then I definitely feel like there would have been more room for improvement. Let's see. Do I want to heal? Yes, heal.
Face
And then
the
take
light.
this guy out. And then use the turn. Yeah, that works. So, those are the two main story arcs that I think could have been gotten down into probably 6 seasons, 7 seasons at most, and I think really it's been closer to 10 or 11 seasons. I'm guessing. I am totally guessing about that. I really have no clue. Alright. If I summon this and then double the health, he would still die. If I heal this one, well, then he'll die too. Let's do this.
Damned stand ready.
And then heal this. And end a turn there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that worked very well. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Alright. That kind of sucked. Let's try this.
Embrace the void.
Job's done.
I think that works well. I think one of the problems too with Doctor is just it's not a good series. It's never intended to be a good series. just at the core of it, it's supposed to be this family action adventure. I mean, more adventure than action. It's supposed to be a family adventure series that's always gonna play it a little safe, always gonna pretend like it's smarter than it really is. Let's see.
How many fingers do you see?
There we go, we'll double the health on this character. Hopefully this works. I really want to win here, so I can just be done with the series. But, yeah, done with this recording session. There's a Freudian slip. Done with the series, yeah. If ever. I can do this.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Job's done.
Darn it. I thought I had one more. I didn't. So, I don't know what I want there. I think what I want is I want a new series that takes some of the storylines and concepts of, or does something similar to the storylines and concepts that are played around with, but not fully focused on or fleshed out as Doctor Who, and then just fleshes those out and fully plays around with it. Which BBC kind of does that, but then they also kind of always get canceled. It's kind of same as the Sci-Fi Channel here.
Job's done.
It's just not. There's not enough audience apparently, according to the people that run those channels, to sustain that. I know there's been several BBC shows that I've seen on BBC America, and I've been like, that's a cool concept. I want to see more of that. And it either goes in a wild direction or it just gets canceled really early. That's really why the only series that you can normally put your faith into as far as BBC series is comedies, because they can just play in 3 seasons and be done with it. I mean, they can be done with it in 1 season, really. Alright. I think I might be able to win here. As long as I'm cautious and get kinda lucky. Well, that's the opposite of getting lucky. Is he gonna just... Let's see. If all he can do is summon a 1-2 weapon, then he's not gonna be able to win very fast.
Well played.
Speaking of comedies, Black Books is back on Netflix. I got on Netflix last night, looked at like the new releases and now trending and popular on Netflix categories, looked at all those things and then got right back off. Literally didn't watch anything at all. So I have hit that level. I have finally hit the level on Netflix, so it's just like, I will turn on the TV, flip around the channels once, and then turn it back off. Which is fine, that's exactly what I should do as a YouTube video game reviewer, is focus on video games, but it was annoying. Oh, a lot of season finales were, they were bad, weren't they? Ooh, yeah, like, I've been watching Once Upon a Time, and they totally chickened out on Once Upon a Time. as far as that ending, just to be kind of spoiler free on that, it was a terrible ending, and the way it was written, they had to get to a certain point to set up the next season. Obviously, that's blatantly obvious. And the way they were going to get to that point would have had the bad guys winning, and would have been kind of a bold way, and then they could have done quite a lot of that, and fixed quite a lot, and really committed to the bad guys winning, but they didn't do that. Instead, they had the good guys win, and then the good guys did the exact same thing that the bad guys were going to do, which is just ridiculous. New Simpsons episode came out. It's been a long time since the new Simpsons episodes came out. There's nothing really that you can say about Simpsons episodes, though. It was alright. It was kind of like a standard episode, and I guess that's saying a lot considering how many seasons they're in. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was as always funny. I watched that. Last Man on Earth was kind of weird, but alright. And let me think if there was anything else I watched. Nope, I guess not. And so that puts everything nicely. So now I can spend the rest of the day either goofing off or working. Hopefully I will spend it working. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.